This is going to be a bit of a long one compared to some of the other ones, because again, there is a lot here that we have to deal with. So I'm going to start off with my chart here, end of year 0. End of year 0 in most cases, not all of them because every state's different, but end of year 0 is actually 3 days after closing, because you get 3 days, at least in Massachusetts, to determine whether or not this is something you want to go through with. You may have started it and realized, I don't want to do this. This gives you a way out. But then it's each year thereafter. The age of the youngest borrower, or only borrower in this case, going forward. This is where I use that $10,000 credit line, because I want to be able to show you with that $10,000 credit line what happens with it over time. Now remember, I'm using an 8% rate, so my numbers are going to be really high on this credit line. I didn't set up a life expectancy set aside, so that's 0 in this particular case. I do put in 5 draws of $2,000 each, just so you could see how they're affecting the credit line over time and what it does to them. That way you can, again, get an idea of what's going to happen. And by the way, in this $10,000 credit line, it's easy to see if it was 20, 50, or 100, what it's going to be doing, because it'll give you at least some ideas. The loan advances, the 7118, if you remember back on page 2 here, I showed you a 10-year payment set up of $593.19. This is that $593.19 times 12. The $30 service fee, again from this particular page here, times 12 is where we're getting the $360 from. The accrued interest is how much interest you would owe at the end of each year on this loan. The accrued MIP is the mortgage insurance premium. That's the initial down payment, in this case $8,000, and then 0.5% of the previous year's loan balance all the way down the line. The loan balance is how much you would owe at the end of every year on this loan. The home value going up by 4%. The net home value is 7% below the home value. Now, I use that 7% below the home value number because, and so does IBIS, most people don't sell a house themselves. They use a real estate agent. By the time you've given the real estate agent 4 to 5% of the value of the home, by the time you've hired your moving company to help you move, by the time you've painted a wall or fixed a window, you've probably spent 7% of the home value. This is trying to reflect that number. The net equity is the net home value minus the loan balance. If you were to sell the house or your heirs were to sell the house, this is what would be left over to them. Now, when I say that, everybody's eyes will generally come down here to year 20, where that big 0 is. That's where the house does what is called zeroing out in value. I'll discuss that in the next segment.